The following is an original Livin' podcast.
Well, guys, Las Vegas. Just something to really note about this weekend. What manufacturer swept the weekend?
All Chevys.
And what manufacturer's on a hot streak to start off the year?
All Chevys.
And what three teams in the Cup level have won this year?
In the Cup, all Chevys.
Exactly, man. Let me tell you
Chevy
guys.
dominant.
Yeah. What a way to start off 2023. First three Cup races, all won by Chevrolet teams. RCR is definitely getting off to such a hot start this year, especially from Xfinity and Cup.
I was about to say, it's not just Cup that's getting.
Yeah,
that's
no.
getting
That's I knew.
Technically, you can even say the trucks as well.
You could. Very well, technically. But we're going to cover that for all you guys right here on the 30th edition of GTN. Episode 30. We're 20 away from 50 overall episodes. Can you even believe that?
Wow.
Yeah, and I can believe we'll be able to get to 50 before the year's over.
It's very possible. I mean, even if because I recently applied at another job, which is full-time, so that's going to be a little bit harder to try to record these episodes, but we'll do whatever we can to get this done. So, welcome to the 30th edition of GTN. As always, Elijah Leonard, your host. To the left of the screen, that is Wyatt Walker, and to the very bottom of the screen, that is Poppleton.
Yes.
So, let's go ahead and get on down to our Las Vegas review. What did we think about the racing from trucks, Xfinity, Cup? What were some things that we saw that we kind of predicted, say a driver to stay away from, apparently just straight up proving us wrong? I could definitely think of one example. But what do you guys think?
I'm trying to think of the drivers. I'd say some of the drivers we thought were like a dark horse stuff proved really good, and then they had incidents that cost them. Wasn't even their fault. Most notable, I'd say two notable ones on top of my head are, unfortunately, second week in a row, Haley Deegan. We'll get to more on that, which kind of worries me. But then, happy about it. This one I'm happy about. Joey Logano.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course you'd be happy about that one.
Had a great run at a 3-wide instant, and then he's out. That was a dark horse on my pick that actually got out, which I'm actually kind of happy about.
Yeah, he's really happy.
But either way, there's been some great racing. There were some people I was surprised to see up running super well. Some I was surprised was not running well. It was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
What about you, Stapleton?
Yeah, pretty good weekend as a whole at Las Vegas. The truck race was absolutely bonkers. I will just say that. I think a lot of times they were 3 and 4 wide for trucks, and that was absolutely insane. As much as I wanted Carson Oswald to win, and I thought he was, Kyle Busch won, so yeah. Xfinity was fantastic. Xfinity was pretty good, and I thought Chance Smith was going to win. I really thought Chance Smith was going to get it, but then Arsenal stole it on the very last lap. And then Cup.
He's having flashbacks, guys. He's having flashbacks.
2 years in a row.
Into it, dominance once again. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Byron. Byron is my second favorite Hendrick driver, so I'm okay with him winning. But and he had the dominant car of the day. But if NASCAR didn't have that sneaky fast caution that they threw out, Lawson would have won. Byron was catching, but it was gonna be close. But I think Lawson would have barely hang on. But
let me say this about Larson real quick. 3 years in a row, he's been top 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, Vegas.
3 years in a row, he's been top 2.
21st in 2021, second in 2022, second in 2023 in the first Vegas race.
And it's also on top of that, you talk about 3 years in a row. It's 3 years in a row that Hendrick has been dominant with 3 different drivers, which is insane to me of how well they've gotten their mile-and-a-half program, especially at a place like Vegas.
And they all got top 3.
Especially at a place like Vegas, nailed down. Though the unfortunate soul in that Hendrick stable, of course, is Josh Berry, but it's for obvious reasons. It is his first Cup start in 2 years, and also this was his first race. It's his first race in the next gen car. We'll get to that in a second, but you know, just it's just nuts. But so,
I'm sorry.
Let's go on to. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking about how we could really do this. We could definitely go over the results. Either we can go over the results, or we could do some recapping. What do you guys think?
I think we could try to do a little small little recap.
Yeah, I'd say the small recaps.
Which for me, I watched like to the second stage of the truck race, and then after, I usually don't do this a lot, but it's like I had high hopes for Deegan, and as soon as I saw her crash in this, and I just honestly stopped watching. It's like
I turned the TV off.
Xfinity. But what if I remember from that race? It was pretty good. I enjoyed the race. We had some different drivers leading. The racing was crazy. Looking at some of these finishes, looking at some of the finishing positions on some of the people was kind of surprising, not surprising. But some weren't even running the top 10 when I watched, and now some of them finished.
Yeah.
But honestly, truck race was pretty good for the most part.
I want to
go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to a couple drivers here. How about Jake Garcia?
Yeah.
In that 35 truck. He was top 15 all night, and then he was able to sneak in and get a top 10 in his first start on the year after finally turning 18 on the race up the day of the truck race. So that was a nice birthday gift, I guess you can say. I think, and I also want to mention the Christian Eggers. He was bad fast all night long in that 19 truck. Bad fast. So, like maybe McInerney might pull a track house from Cup, but this time in trucks for McInerney. They look competitive with Derek Cross, but maybe all they needed was a couple driver swaps. As much as I liked Derek Cross, apparently all they needed was get Kushnikis and Jake Garcia in to the trucks, and now that might put them over the edge and might be top 10 threats. We have to wait and see. And also, I kind of want to mention Matt DiBenedetto as well for Rackley Wood. Also, another small team that was kind of okay last year, but was pretty good all night long, top 15.
Yeah.
My people, I want to give a shout out or an appeal about. You got old Corey Heim finishing 4th.
That's nuts.
Showing that he's still pretty fast. He is doing good, pretty good team. He's already got a top 5 in the second race. Not bad. Not by him. Ty Majeski's also mad fast as well. So was the whole Thor Sport camp. You can even say Haley Deegan. Yes, she wrecked out, but Haley Deegan, her qualifying, second race, but her qualifying's been better. She qualified 5th?
Yeah, 5th.
And I kind of saw practice. She was running 20th. Her car was 20th, and then she got 5th. And she was running mid-pack, but I don't think it all was her fault back there. But she
kind of got squeezed. She was in the middle of 3 wide and got squeezed.
It wasn't.
She was running. I think at the time she was moving her way back up to the front, but then or like back up to the top 10, and then once again out of her own doing, got squeezed and hit the inside wall hard. And that's the one thing about Deegan. No matter what, she always has some of the worst luck I've ever seen. Like,
and she's not a bad driver.
No,
She
she's
is
not.
really good. She is really good.
Yeah.
but she can be good, and I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent on the Haley Deegan haters. I'm not a Haley Deegan liker. You know what I mean? I'm not a big Haley Deegan fan, but I can see talent when I can see it. She has talent, and I know from experience, Carlos has super speedways. Deegan has terrible luck. That's what it is, and that's the Truck Series. Truck Series is a crapshoot sometimes, and I wanted to be in Xfinity. I wanted her to be in Xfinity this year, but that didn't happen. Still in Trucks, best wide, but she's still in the crapshoot of the Truck Series, and I think she's gonna have some good ones, but she just needs to have good luck.
I think she's going to get an Xfinity next year. She just needs, if she keeps qualifying and probably running good, I think she will. I still don't think she's going to make the playoffs. I hope she gets a great run, be close and stuff. That's still my expectations. But she's qualifying better. Feel like she's having better racing. She don't end up getting involved in incidents that's not her fault. I could see her having a good ride in Xfinity, and depends on what happened to Cole Custer, it might end up being Stuart Haas.
Yeah, it could be.
But
it just depends on what Cole Custer's status at the end of this year is going to be. Like, if his stats this year are exactly how they were before he went up to Cup, I don't see Cole Custer going anywhere at all. With Riley Herbst, he's kind of up in the air. He's really up in the air right now because, to be quite honest, because with Herbst, yes, he has improved in the Xfinity Series. He's getting much better finishes than what he was getting before. I mean, he's not that bad of a driver either. However, you never know. Who knows? He might get pulled up to the Cup Series, like, say, by a Front Row Motorsports. Do I see him going to Stuart Haas in the Cup level? No, I don't. I see him going to a lower team. I'd say either Front Row at the very best, and at the very worst case scenario, Rick Ware Racing. That's all I see out of Riley Herbst.
I don't see him going to Stuart Haas, but I could see someone I could see Brad probably picking him up if they wanted to expand. Yes, they could probably pull a better driver than him. No disrespect to Riley Herbst, but it's even though there's still one other Ford team that's not as top it used to be, but it's still running pretty well. Both cars are currently in the top 16 playoffs.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. One other driver I want to name before we start running down this list. Man, he's proving me wrong more and more. Gotta give props to that 4, Chase Purdy.
Now, as soon as you said, I was looking at him right before you said that. I was like, how did I know he was going to say Chase Purdy?
I feel like this might be Purdy's last chance, but this might be his best chance because at GMS does 4 or 5 trucks. He's not the main focus. Midori, they expanded it to trucks. I don't think he was the main focus. I think Ty Ankrum was, but now KBM, the flagship Ford truck for KBM. He's the only full-time driver because the 51. Well, I guess can count Nick Sanchez kind of because that's a weird KBM revelation.
Yeah, Alliance.
But as full KBM, it's just the 4 of Purdy and then the 51 of Jacqueline and Kyle Busch and some others. So I think we have to see. That was the first real chance because of a non-super speedway, and we won't really know because then the next race for us is at Atlanta Super Speedway.
Ass.
But this is Purdy's best chance, and he showed up all day and all night at Las Vegas on Friday.
So, as we run down our results here, we've got Kyle Busch of course, the winner. I mean,
Mr. Leach.
it's not much of a surprise. Zane Smith second, Ben Rhodes third. Corey Heim, as fast as ever, fourth. Ty Majeski, fifth. Christian Eckes, sixth, or should I say Eckes, sixth. Oh, that's funny. Wyatt, look at, and think about this for a second. The 19 truck finished in sixth. You can think about this too, Stapleton, since you know what I'm thinking about.
Oh my god.
Booyaka, booyaka! All right, Carson Hocevar, 7 times 6. That gives you 42. He finishes in the 7th position. Chase Purdy finishes in 8th. Grant Enfinger, 9th. Jake Garcia, of course, the top 10. And the positions 11th through 20th here. Oh boy, this is actually kind of an interesting top 20 here. Matt Crafton finishing 11th. Matt DiBenedetto, who is actually pretty fast in this race. He came home in 12th. Tanner Gray, 13th. Stuart Friesen, 14th. Tyler Ankrum, 15th. Dean Thompson coming home in the 16th position. Kaz Grella, 17th. Colby Howard, 18th. Daniel Dye, 19th. Lawless Allen completing the top 20.
Let's talk about this group for a second. It's like we got a bunch of, obviously a bunch of Toyotas, but like you look at some of these names, you talk about the two teammates, Dean Thompson and Kaz Gralla. Dean Thompson was in the back, but he's actually shown up making the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
His new team. It's pretty good. Tanner Gray's having good runs as always. Stuart Friesen, I wish would have had a better run, but you guys talked about Matty D having a really good run. I think we're seeing a different Matt DiBenedetto this season. He might be someone to watch out for.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man. I mean, this will be interesting.
Daniel Dye brought out the first caution, right?
I think so. I think he might have brought out the first caution.
I think Daniel Dye brought out the first caution, and he still came home with a top 20.
Pretty impressive. But
Colby
Howard. I mean, Colby Howard is for CR7 Motorsports. Remember when that team wasn't performing the greatest when they first got up to the Truck Series from the ARCA? Now, all of a sudden, from drivers such as Blaine Perkins, who actually brought that team up a little bit more, and now here we are with Colby Howard, who came out of his ride from Bill McAnally Racing, jumps into this 9 truck, and he's getting some really good results to start out for that team.
He can probably. He's not going to be. I don't see him winning championship, but he could be a sleep. He could be a sleeper to sneak his way in. Could. Keyword could.
It's very. I think the chances are kind of slim, but you never know. It's the Truck Series. You can pretty much prove anybody wrong. From 21st through 30th, and this is one that may hurt once we get down towards the bottom. Matt Gutierrez finishing in 21st. Timmy Hill, Spencer Boyd, Ross Chastain, Caden Honeycutt, Matt Mills, Mason Massey, and Hayes Stapleton. He didn't finish dead last. He finished 26th, by the way. Matt Mills did. Chris Wright, Mason Massey, Chris Wright, Raja Carruth, and Nicholas Sanchez. Now, this one for Carruth, that one hurt because he actually was running really, really well. Top 10, had an incident in the pits that just set him all the way back here to 29th. Last truck running. So that really sucks. But the good thing about this for Carruth is he still remained pretty positive. He knows that, hey, it's still early in the season. I know I'm going to get results like this. We can always try to work at it, hammer away, and once we go to Atlanta, hopefully we can get a little bit of a better result. So, but still, this is definitely kind of tough to see at the very beginning of the year.
But Roger Carruth has been fast.
Absolutely.
Both times. Roger Carruth is a name we need to keep an eye on, and I bet it brings you two a lot of joy seeing him running so well.
It really does. For me, yeah, it does. If you were to ask Alex Graham, formerly known as Napa Fan, that about how Raj Caruth's doing and where he's at, he would definitely probably talk your ear off on it.
Yeah.
But
one guy I do want to mention that I feel so disappointed for was Nick Sanchez in that two truck. I think he had the truck to contend with Kyle Busch all night long.
Yeah.
And then I think he got loose off of turn 2, and he hit the wall, and the truck was not the same, and then he was done. So that was unfortunate for Nick Sanchez, but I think he's going to be a threat all year if KBM/Rev Racing continue of what they did at Las Vegas.
We're talking about all these young guys. We talk about guys like Chase Purdy, Roger Caruth, Nick Sanchez. These young guys, Corey Heim could be adding that list too. We got these young guys who could be a real threat. And there's actually some guys here I actually see are going to be serious Cup competitors. And you're going to like this, Elijah. I think Roger Caruth is one of them.
Yeah. 100%. I do see that happening. Now, the final 5 finishers. How unfortunate, I have to say this, but John Hunter Nemechek finishing in 31st. Also, how unfortunate, I have to say this too. Hailie Deegan, 32nd. Brendan Poole, 33rd. Brett Holmes, 34th. And Josh Rayome rounds out the field, dead last. Transmission problems on lap 4. Man.
Sorry, I saw something come my eye, but Hailie, I've mentioned this. Hailie Deegan, qualified fit. I really hope it's just the 2 races are just shaking nerves out or something. Yes, none of them was her fault, but it's like I really hope this ain't the full thing because she's really good. She's really fast. She's in a really good team. This is her make or break season.
Yeah.
The fact that she's had 2 finishes, yes, Daytona, can't say nothing about it, but this one she was involved in another incident that was barely her fault.
Yeah.
I'm just worried.
Yeah, that's very worrisome, and I'm really hoping that this isn't the type of season that Hailie Deegan's gonna have because she shows. I mean, even before coming up to the Truck Series, coming up through the ranks in the K&N Series and as well as the ARCA Series, she showed a lot of promise. Showed a ton of promise. Like right off the bat in her ARCA race, first ARCA race 3 years ago, first full season that is. Finished runner-up. She could have won the dang thing. But, you know, Michael Self, man. Gotta love Michael Self sometimes. Anyways.
I miss Michael Self in NASCAR. /ARCA.
But, you know, now she's up in the Truck Series. Actually got herself a good result in her debut. Goes full-time. It's almost like we're starting to see kind of similar, you know, runs than what we've seen the last 2 seasons with Hailie Deegan and trucks. I mean, this is just what I'm seeing, but I'm really hoping that 3rd season is the charm and the 3rd season is the season that she can definitely turn things around this year. But so far,
she just needs to be careful.
So far, it's just not looking like that right now, but it's still early. Now, let's do a little brief recap on the Xfinity Series. A race that kind of played out like Cup in some way or manner when I heard the race wasn't all that exciting until it came down to the very final few laps. You guys would know a little bit more about it than me. I wasn't paying too much attention to the Xfinity Series race, but if you guys want to go ahead, take the flag, go for it.
I didn't really watch a lot of the Xfinity race, not gonna lie. I mean, I watched it, but there was some good points to it, and some of their finishes don't show it, but there's some guys that actually ran pretty well that kind of surprised me a bit. I'd say one, looking at the list, like how flowy he is. I'd say Brett Moffitt's one of them. He qualified fourth and was actually running up in the front
Hmm.
half a lot.
No.
I
Yeah, I
do
think
not
he got
remember.
involved in a crash or something.
Yeah, I think so too. And then he finished that. I think him and AM are going to be really competitive.
Hmm.
Another great finish for another top 15 finish for Joe Graff Jr. in the 19, which he'll be back in the 38 this week. But hopefully time in Joe Gibbs kind of help him see that one driver who was was not doing all that great. That actually was lower half and somehow made it up to a top 12. Cole Custer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were struggling with that W all day long.
Another notable man that we need to keep an eye on, Parker Klingerman.
Yeah, I was looking at
Mm.
the name before you said it too.
Parker is a guy we need to watch. He's starting to become really good. Nemechek still pretty fast in that 20 Joe Gibbs car. But that finish though,
Oh,
I'm not going to lie, I was rooting for Austin Hill. I was I love Chandler Smith. I love Chandler Smith. Don't get me wrong, but I was rooting for Austin Hill because this is his first oval win in the Xfinity Series. He has not won a road course. He has not won he's not won an oval until today. This is his first win on a non super speedway race
Yeah.
in the Xfinity Series.
so
So.
I'm just gonna say this. I think Chandler Smith is gonna get a win this season, no doubt about it.
I have no
If
doubt.
he's if he shows that speed more than just Las Vegas, he's gonna get a couple of wins. Chandler Smith, I think, is gonna be the next great superstar for college, kind of like how Justin Haley was. I think Smith is gonna be the next good driver for college. I also think Sam May is gonna get that first win this year. I think Sean Creed's gonna get that first win. I think a lot of drivers are gonna get the first win this season. So maybe Sammy Smith, because Sammy
I
Smith
agree.
has had some speed too. And honestly, it's funny. I thought it was gonna be dominant between Nemechek and Custis so far. Not really dominant. I mean, Nemechek is looking better than Custis right now, but it might be a really surprisingly competitive season that that's Fanny.
So here's my question on that. Do we think we're overselling Custer a bit? I mean, yes, it's only 3 races in, but he's
I don't know. To be fair, he was in the Cup Series for 3 years, and before that, he was just doing one-offs so here and there. He wasn't really full time in that series since 2019. So maybe he has to get used to these cars again for a couple weeks. I don't know, but like our club, he was fast, but had a tire go down and then got into the wall, and Austin hit him in the rear. That was kind of not of his doing. And then Las Vegas, I think they said something on the broadcast that Cocos never really liked Vegas that much. And the setup was just not good or whatever, and to get 12th, I guess that isn't that bad, because at one point I saw he was 25th or something. So,
I
I
noticed
say give it a few more weeks and to really see of what Custer will do.
Brandon Jones was running up in the top 5 at one point, but he fell back to 21st.
Yeah.
I have no clue
And
what happened to him.
It's unfortunate. I mean, because you would think that since Brandon Jones went to Junior Motorsports, he would have picked right back up where he left off, right? You would think that, But
I mean, he's fast.
He is, but the results aren't backing it up, unfortunately, and that's the worst part about this whole ordeal of Brandon Jones right now, and it has been for years that he's been in the Xfinity series. Like he'll have good and fast cars, but the numbers won't back it up at times. He's just had a kind of like this kind of up and down career for himself. I mean, just in Xfinity alone.
I think we all agree he should have been in that Final Four. He should have been in that Final Four last year.
Oh, easily.
Ty Gibbs wasn't selfish.
Easily. But Ty's like, oh, I got robbed back in the spring, so I'm gonna boop and then put him around. Yay,
Which I would have.
Yay, I did it.
Which I still think is funny how Brandon if Brandon just would have won that race, he would have swept. He would have swept Martinsville.
Right. He should have swept Martinsville.
Oh yeah,
he should have swept. But looking through these results and the Xfinity level, Austin Hill, 3 races. He's already won 2 of them. Justin Allgaier finishing in the 2nd position. Chandler Smith 3rd. Kyle Busch 4th. A little surprising to me that Kyle Busch really wasn't the most dominant guy. He led only 4 laps, and Chandler Smith led 118. But again, let me repeat that. Kyle Busch, the guy that would easily run away with Xfinity races when he was with Gibbs at the time, led 4 laps. That's it.
Exactly. And you mentioned that it's still funny that that Chandler Smith still beat Kyle Busch. Chandler still beat Kyle.
And led way more laps than he did.
Exactly. A whole lot more. It looks like he led the most laps.
But leading the most laps isn't what's going to win you the race, though. That's the thing. You got to finish in first in order for that stat to count.
And Austin Hill hasn't. He's already picking up where he left off, and he might be a threat.
I see it. Josh Berry completed in the top 5. John Hunter Nemechek still as fast as ever. He gets another top 10 finish in the 6th position. Sam Mayer 7th. Riley Herbst 8th. Sheldon Creed 9th. Daniel Hemrick completing the top 10 from 11th through 20th in this order. Parker Kligerman, Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick with a better performance this week. Jeb Burton, Joe Graff Jr., Kyle Weatherman, Sammy Smith, Alex LeBay, Anthony Alfredo, Kyle Sieg complete the top 20.
How about giving a shout out to RSR with Alex LeBay and Kyle Sieg both still getting top 20s. Oh. And don't forget Anthony Alfredo. He's actually doing pretty well in that 78 BJ McLeod car.
He's actually doing a little bit better. Well, I'm probably about the same as he was with our motorsports.
Yeah, honestly, Alfredo.
You mentioned a lot. Yeah, and a good segue to that, we got Kyle Weatherman back, and he's still putting up almost a top 15.
Yeah, Weatherman's fast, man.
Weatherman should have
I want him to get at least a few starts in the 88. Give him a few starts in that Junior Motorsports number 88. I mean, Dale Jr. was asked a question that if there's any driver that, in any lower team, any sort of underfunded team that he saw potential in, that he would give a chance in his team, he chose Kyle Weatherman. Because you've seen the performances that he's had with Jesse Wuji's team. Absolutely made that team look way better than when Jesse Wuji himself would drive his own cars. Literally put Wuji's team on the map.
It was not.
I don't think they even raced this week.
Man, though, It's still crazy. Still nuts. Now,
And
from 21st through 30th, we got Brandon Jones, Brett Moffitt, Kaz Gralla, Ryan Sieg, Jeremy Clements, Raja Karuth, kind of finishing right around the same area as he did the night before this race. Ryan Ellis, Bailey Curry, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Josh Williams completing the 21st through 30th, and now our final 8 drivers finishing order. Final 8 drivers in this finishing order: Josh Bilicki, Gray Galding, Brendan Poole, Patrick Emmerling, Blaine Perkins, Garrett Smithley, Parker Retzloff, and Joey Gase, rounding out the 38-car field.
I kind of expected a lot more from Parker Retzloff. I mean, the way he showed last year, I thought he was going to do a little bit better, but it looks like he still needs a bit more work.
I don't know if anything happened to him or if he just finished better. Yeah, I'm assuming that something must have happened because he is like 14 laps down. Yeah. He qualified 20th. So I don't know what happened to the 31, but Russoff, I think, can be good. You have to think, though, he's not done a full-time season and
Yeah, he hasn't done a full-time season or anything.
Well, the only thing that he's done for a full-time thing was in ARCA East in 2020. So, besides that, he's only done 3 total starts in ARCA, 1 start, and a total of 12 Xfinity starts. But he has talent. He just needs time, since he's not really done a full season yet.
And now for our main event, the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas.
And the ironic part of that, it's the Pennzoil race, and both the Pennzoil cars did not run good.
They started good, but then as the race went on, Logano and Blaney just kept dropping further and further and further and further back, and they kind of just hung around the top 15 the whole day.
Logano dropped all the way.
Logano, and it's not like Logano meant to get into the wall and spin out and actually do a little Dukes of Hazzard action over on the infield. He just it was just 3 aggressive drivers between Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and himself going for the same amount of real estate, and there wasn't any left. Which took him out, which ultimately resulted in him going out due to the damaged vehicle policy, the damage clock expiring. That's why he went out.
And I want to point out on that 2 things on that. First thing is, Kyle Busch didn't look like he had anything. Yes, he was on the bottom, but he had nothing to do with Logano doing that. It was like a mix between Logano getting too high on the wall and it's like Brad. It was like a mix kind of.
Yeah, that's all.
Kind of arrow. I think it was both of them. One guy, a little tight, went up, run him up. The other one got too high on the wall, came down. It was a mix between them. So I don't think Kyle Busch has any fault on that or anything. But the other thing I want to mention, I was laughing saying this before the whole incident. I was saying, 3 drivers that about almost everyone do not like. Not counting Bubba Wallace for this incident, but it's back then, Logano, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski.
Yeah.
They were 3 wide. 3 wide. And all from different. I just thought that was kind of funny. And then they reacted and it was oh. Well, it was Logano, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine for you.
Yeah.
But it was not fine for Travis, I can tell you that much. Okay.
As a Penske fan, I was just throughout that whole day, I was kind of like, what in the world are your cars doing, man? How?
Hey, at least your guy got a top 10.
At least, at the very, very least, that's what makes up for
How
it.
the only non-Pennzoil Penske car was the highest in the Pennzoil 100.
I know, right?
Man, it is this. Man, two Pennzoil cars didn't do all that well in their own race. That's might as well rename it the Discount Tire 400 if you know what I mean.
Honestly, all the Fords were not. I
yeah.
mean, Harvick was up there.
Keselowski had the most muscle out of the Ford group the entire day.
Yeah, agreed. Keselowski is probably going to be one we'll have to watch more on that because he's probably gotten that 6 car back to usual. But you're right about Brad. He was basically the only Ford up there competing. It would be somewhat competitive, but it looked like to me, it looked like only Hendricks and Joe Gibbs, with an exception of Bubba Wallace, with the Toyotas fighting it out, and maybe Tyler Reddick in the middle.
Yeah, well, Tyler Reddick. Well, sorry to cut you off, Nathan, but the one Toyota that was not up there at all was Ty Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this was
after qualifying 4th.
This was very expected for me. Super highly expected that he would not perform as well as any other Toyota or any Gibbs car in the field. Reddick, I'm actually kind of glad he performed pretty well, but top 15 was where he finished, and that's where he generally was. That's as high as he's gotten up to, and that's where he pretty much was the whole day. Other than getting up inside of the top 10. Other than getting up inside of the top 10, that's just top 15 is just generally where he was the whole day.
And then besides Hendrick and Toyota and stuff, the other team that really was kind of up there was Ross.
Yeah,
I was going to mention Trackhouse too, because Suarez was up there too.
Ross was up inside like the top 5, top 7 always, and then stage 3, boom, hello Suarez as well. So Trackhouse, both cars ended up getting that point late as well. But other than that, no one could really challenge Hendrick.
No one could. I mean, they were.
I noticed one driver who was sneaking his way up there. He didn't get the finish because he accidentally wrecked on the final lap. But on that third stage, I was keeping my eye on AJ. He was slowly sneaking his way up to the top 10.
He was. I mean, wasn't he? I think the last that I heard or remember before he got wrecked on that last lap, he was as high as I think 17th, if I remember correctly. I mean, because I never really saw him as.
I think the highest I saw him was like 14th at one point.
Yeah, he really wasn't much of a factor throughout that whole day.
The highest I saw was like 14th for a guy and 16th for Haley, and then somehow Haley topped him.
Yeah, I'm not just surprised. How in the world Justin Haley got a top 10?
Magic.
I was like, where did he come from?
Justin Haley came out of Colleague Racing. That's where he came from.
Yeah.
But talking about Hendrick here, didn't some of us pick William Byron as the driver to stay away from?
I actually think we did. Some of us did pick William Byron to stay away from. I remember the.
Yeah, it's just, I think it might have been. I don't know if it was me and Stapleton or if it was just Stapleton. But
I think
time for me to go back on this.
I think I did. I think I mentioned.
But nonetheless, though, like irregardless.
Yeah, I did. Well,
I think I did too. I'm not sure.
I mean, hey, I had Brad as my dark horse, and he was up in the top 10 always on until the end. And then I said Joey for the winner. Well, Joey, that didn't happen.
I chose Joey as my dark horse, and he finished dead last. And he start picking him more as my dark horse now.
Yeah, just watch as you pick Byron as the dark horse. He wrecks the next week at Phoenix. Or just doesn't perform all that well. But Byron today I feel like he legitimately earned this one. This one, since Homestead, Miami, he did like this win for him. This is the most dominant that I've ever seen William Byron since he ran in the Trucks and Xfinity Series. The most dominant run I've ever seen him have in Cup. 176 laps led, practically untouchable until Kyle Larson took over the lead for the next 63 laps before that overtime. And Alex Bowman just moved up into third. He just practically sat there in third. Of course, the lone soul out of the Hendrick stable, yes, is Josh Berry. Now, the reason that Josh Berry was in the 9 was because prior to the weekend, Chase Elliott had a little snowboarding accident over in Colorado. He was hospitalized. I think he had a broken shin bone. That was the diagnostic. He got it surgically repaired. He was home right now. He's recovering, and there's no timeline on when he will be returning. But we know this: Josh Berry will be in the number 9, at least for the foreseeable future until Chase Elliott returns, which hopefully is not as long as Kurt Busch will be out. It definitely will not be.
You mentioned Kurt Busch. How about his brother, who missed out on half the race, got a waiver, won like 3 races when he came back, and then won the championship in 2015.
Right.
I'm still not happy about that championship, but that's more or less me being a Kyle Busch than anything else.
Also, I picked Bubba Wallace, and apparently he got top 5 too. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. You picked Wilson to win, and
he almost won.
He probably should have won. And yeah, me and Elijah said the driver to stay away from was William Byron. Well, we got that one messed up.
Yeah. Big time. After what? 34th at Daytona, 25th at Fontana. And now he turns it all around, just completely 180s it, and finishes first.
Hey, Bubba Wallace proved me wrong, okay? Bubba Wallace proved me wrong.
I might not like that scheme that he ran. I should have more blue on it, but damn, he was fast.
You mentioned blue cars that look damn good? Man, Christopher, I love Bell. You know I love Bell's but here lately, I've been loving the blue and white or the blue and black. Those cars stick out to me so much. I don't know what it is, but they look so damn good.
You want to know? You want to know which Sirius XM car stuck out to me? Christopher Bell's car at Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm messing.
Well, I might go ahead and just cancel those tickets to come back up and see you again.
Me.
And me too. You know, I'm not gonna give you tickets to come down here to watch the Indy 500.
Man, I still can't believe me and him didn't even try to meet each other at the Indy race. Damn, that's 6 years ago.
It's bound to happen. But going through these results, we've got William Byron, of course, the winner. Kyle Larson second. Alex Bowman third in the Hendrick Pennzoil 400. William Byron, not William Byron. Apparently, William Byron has been entered in 2 cars. Bubba Wallace finishing in 4th. Christopher Bell completing the top 5. Austin Cindric 6th. Martin Truex Jr. 7th. Justin Haley 8th. Kevin Harvick 9th. Daniel Suarez completing the top 10. Car number 11 finishes in P number 11. That would be Denny Hamlin. Then Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, who was in the wall twice and still kept going, finishing in the 14th position. Tyler Reddick 15th. Eric Almirola 16th. Brad Keselowski 17th. AJ Allmendinger 18th. 19th, Eric Jones. And rounding out the top 20, that would be Corey LaJoie. 21st through 30th goes as follows: Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Preece, who ended up getting caught up in that final lap wreck, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Michael McDowell, Harrison Burton, Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry, and Noah Gragson completed the top 30. And now the final 6 finishing drivers: Todd Gilliland, BJ McLeod, JJ Yaley, Ty Dillon, once again with another dismal finish for the 3rd week in a row. Thank goodness he actually was running at the end. He finished the race, but it's still another dismal finish, and I still feel horrible for Ty Dillon. Cody Ware and Joey Logano round out the 36-car field.
One thing I want to say about Spire is obvious that either A, they are giving all the good stuff to Corey LaJoy and all the bad stuff to Ty Dillon, or they're both getting similar stuff and Corey LaJoy is just driving the cars better than Ty Dillon. I don't know, but like the back-to-back weeks, LaJoy has had like top 15, top 20 speed, and then Ty Dillon has had problems all 3 races to start the season.
Yeah.
You're talking about a driver who is not doing good. Chase Briscoe has not been running like Chase Briscoe the last 2 weeks. He's been in the 30s. He finished top 20 last week, but he got 28th this race.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't think anything happened to that 20 to the 14 Briscoe. I know last week they were dealing with like some kind of engine issue with running flat or something. I don't even know, but and somehow they fixed it and got top 20. They never even mentioned Briscoe. I don't know. I don't. No, that was Preece that got involved. Preece got involved in that lap pass. Briscoe, I don't think he did. Briscoe was just a no-show at Vegas. I don't know what happened. They never talked about him. Nothing.
That is kind of concerning me. And next week we're going to a track that he won at, and almost how he won at last year, which I'm really hoping he'll show results. And if he better show something next week, or I'm going to be really concerned about the person who snuck his way into the round of 8 last year.
Yeah.
So, also give props to Josh Berry on his attempt on the first try. First try being here. He did not get the best finish. I was hoping he'd get a better finish, but first car in Gen 7 kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that one I felt like was just that race for Josh Berry was just gonna be downhill, and it was very, very, very obvious. And it's not like I wanted it to happen, and it's not like I was gonna say, oh, Josh Berry's gonna do great. It was his first. It's not only his first Cup start in 2 years, but also again, this was his first start in the next gen car, the Generation 7, which for him, that was an entirely brand new beast to really handle. I mean, he's more so used to. I mean, of course, he's more so used to the Xfinity cars. And I don't know. It's just I kind of just expected that kind of run from Josh Berry, just to be right around where he was, top 30 all day long. But he still brought the car home in one piece, though, so I'll give him credit where it is due.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the points real quick. We'll start with the Cup Series real quick. We have 3 different winners, with Kyle Busch now at the top of the board of that. Then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and William Byron following him. And then the rest of the people down from 4th through 16th. Ross Chastain up by 60. Bowman, 57. Harvick, 39. Suarez, 35. Martrex Jr., 33. Hamlin, 30. Bell, 25th, which is cool seeing the top 3 Joe Gibbs cars, 8th, 9th, 10th on that. Joey Logano drops from being 5th, actually technically 4th, to 11th. being plus 23. Busher plus 21. Brad Keselowski plus 18. Both the RFK. RFK guys up in the top 16, like I mentioned before. Larson up 16. Blaney up 12. And I think because of the finish, Bubba Wallace is tied with Austin Cindric for the last spot. But Bubba Wallace gets it.
Yeah.
And the current cutoff, Austin Cindric, like I mentioned, tied with Bubba Wallace. I think Wallace had a better finish.
Yeah, the
Austin
tiebreaker is the top 5 that Bubba Wallace has over Cindric.
Yeah. And then Corey LaJoie is unfortunately dropping. He's just 1 point below the cutoff, but he's slowly dropping. AJ's minus 15, and I'm actually shocked that Ty Gibbs is actually in this bubble, so he's down 16.
It's shocking that it is shocking that he is in the conversation right now. It's still early, though.
Oh, yeah, way early. Now we go and talk about the Xfinity Series, which currently Austin Hill is the only current two-time winner in the Xfinity Series. Then you got John Hunter Nemechek with the lone win. But then you got Justin Allgaier with 70 points above. They got Chandler Smith, the rookie, 57. Riley Herbst, 47. Myatt Snyder, 30. Cole Custer is still up in that top 12, plus 23rd. Josh Berry, 20th. Joe Graf Jr. is still plus 13. Still plus 13.
That's
above the cutoff.
That's nuts.
Parker Klingerman, plus 12. Ricky Sammy Smith, plus 8. And Jeb Burton snuck his way, plus 6 above the cutoff.
It's a 3-way tie as well between himself, Ryan Sieg, and Daniel Hemrick. Or is it? No, it's not.
No. It's just a tie between Ryan Sieg and Daniel Hemrick.
It's just 6 plus 6 minus 6 minus 6.
Correct. And then, as he mentioned, you got Ryan Sieg and then Daniel Hemrick. Brett Moffitt is now in this bubble, minus 8. And then Sheldon Creed is showing up, minus 10 on this. So, I think we might need to keep an eye. Couple people keep an eye on this one. I think Brett Moffitt might be a name. Jeb Burton keep running good. He may do good. Obviously, Parker Klingerman. I'm kind of hoping to see if working with the Joe Gibbs cars helps Joe Graf Jr. when he comes back to Ryan Sieg.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because this will be pretty interesting if Joe Graf can keep being above the cutoff for another week.
Yeah, it'll definitely be pretty interesting to see what Joe Graf Jr. is going to be able to put together here.
And now we got the Truck Series. Unfortunately, we still only have one winner and only one person locked in since the Mr. Leach won the truck race. But that doesn't mean the points has done some changing stuff. So looking at this, Ty Majeski is currently top of the board with the points, not counting Zane Smith, who has the win. Ty Majeski is 31, is plus 31. Christian Eckes is plus 19, ironically enough. In tied with Matt Crafton, who's also plus 19. Ben Rhodes, plus 15, tied with Grant Enfinger. Kirsten Hocevar, still above the cutoff, with plus 11. Matty D, plus 4. Tanner Gray and Chase Purdy are both tied with plus 3s. With surprise that Tanner Gray is kind of showing where he left off last year when he was above the cutoff for an amount of time before he dropped down.
No.
Now the cutoff. We had Corey Heim still in the picture is minus 3. Tyler Anker minus 3. And here's where it kind of gets interesting. Colby Howard is minus 13. And then I don't even know if you consider him a part-time guy or a full-time guy, but how the hell is Timmy Hill in this minus 23 in this cutoff picture?
Quick, Tricon, give him all your engines.
Don't do that. Don't give him to Timmy. Do not give it. Do not. But how?
I mean, to me, it was solid last year when he was full time. I'm in that 56.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And
Is
this
he even
year,
running full time?
no, I think it's being split with Timmy and
Tyler Hill.
yeah, Tyler Hill. Yeah.
That's why I put him in the pink part time.
The pink part-time. Oh, well, I don't know if there's any breaking stories.
Besides the Chase Elliott incident, which we've already covered, that is the only breaking story, I think.
Well, all right.
Let me check the news. Let me check see if there's any recent news.
Any recent news? I don't think there was.
I
don't
don't
so either.
think. I think the only news I know of is the Chase Elliott thing.
Yeah, that's really the only one I know of as well.
Besides Long John Silver's expanding their deal. Hello Water returns. Brian Weber joins NBM. Best Friends Animal Society.
Yeah, they're
just
really
mainly just sponsors.
Yeah, just
back
little stuff.
TJ McLaughlin will not compete in that race. Yeah, that's basically no other. Unfortunately, no other incidents except. Okay, here's something. On Thursday, not Preston. Pardis Racing will fill the part-time entry for the 2023 NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Yep.
Will be driving the 50 Chevy or Coda.
Yes, I did.
So Preston Pardis. But other than that, that is all that I. Oh no! Here we go. Here's a big one.
Okay.
Todd Gilliland will officially be full time in the Cup Series since they made a deal with Front Row, and he will be driving the 36 at Talladega.
Good.
So Todd Gilliland will have a full schedule for the Cup Series. So he will officially be full time again.
Good. My gosh.
So, and that is...
You know, if Formula wanted to have Shane Smith do some part-time races, they could have just had him.
That's what I was saying. Put him in the 36.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah. But no, that just to me that just makes no sense on why they would have just said, "All right, hey Todd, guess what? We're giving 5 of your races over to Zane Smith, so you don't have a ride here. Bye."
And making it so much complicated for Todd Gilliland, and yeah.
But at least he still has a ride. Still pretty good, and hope to see him do very well. And that is all the news that I can find.
So, with that said, let's go ahead and preview Phoenix. So Trucks is off. We have just Xfinity and Cup here. So, gentlemen, what do you think we are going to be keeping an eye out for here once we get over to Phoenix?
Well, I will say this. First off, looking at the entries, this will be Zane Smith's first race in that 38.
Yes.
This will be Zane Smith's first race in that 38 and Todd Gilliland's first race in that 15. So that's something. The 9 has not officially been announced yet, but we're pretty sure it might end up being. I hope it's like a mix of the junior motorsports drivers, or mix like not AJ. Sorry, Justin Allgaier getting some rides in there. I love to see Brandon Jones get some more Cup starts. Josh Berry do more.
Just to see Brandon
But-
Jones in the 9 in the Cup level.
Exactly. I mean, like, I don't think Sammy Smith's going to. I really don't think he should. But it's like, I hope that not until Chase gets back. I hope it's kind of
Sammy
rotated.
Smith. Do you mean Sam Mayer?
Sam Mayer, my bad. I swore I thought I said Sam Mayer. I guess I said Sammy Smith. But either way, the point is I hope they kind of trade off the 9 until Chase gets back for Junior Motorsports. And it would be pretty cool. Maybe even throw no, I wouldn't throw any RCR. That would be pretty cool, but I mean it would be pretty cool, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Kyle Weatherman.
Hell, Parker Kling. Ooh, that's a good one. But hell, Parker Klingerman. Give Parker a cup ride.
Yeah, first time in 10 years, give him a Cup ride. Or really 4 years, if you want to count Gaunt Brothers. I don't even remember him driving for Gaunt Brothers. That's kind of forgettable, in my opinion.
Gaunt Brothers in general is forgettable.
I'd hate to say it. I hate to say that.
I
No
felt
offense.
bad for Suarez.
Yeah, no offense to Ryan Kendall. Anyways, we haven't even heard what Nathan had to say.
Phoenix. I hope it's better than last year. I hope the package helps. The package changes. I hope it helps, but I'm not really looking forward to Phoenix. I don't really enjoy it, but I could be wrong.
We'll see. So, with that being said, it is time to get on down to our predictions. To those that are brand new, here's how we do our picks for each weekend. We give you a driver to win. Pretty self-explanatory. Driver to stay away from is the driver that hasn't been doing well the last couple of weeks, or we're just coming up to a track where they suck at. Dark Horse is the exact opposite. But since it's Phoenix, this is the first 1 mile track on the circuit. So you could say this is our first short track of the season. Could. So, without further ado, Nathan, you are up first.
Oh boy, who am I going to dish out punishment this week?
Kyle Larson.
No. Here we go. Xfinity. Let's see it. My driver to stay away from for Xfinity will be as much as I hate to say it, I don't think he's gonna have a good one. I'm gonna go with I actually don't know. Hang on.
White on the edge of his seat. The suspense.
Screw it. I'm gonna do wine Tourette's.
I had a feeling.
I don't hate the younger brother of MTJ. I like the Tourette's, but wine Tourette's. First off, I don't want him to be in a full-time Y because he isn't that bad, and I think he will probably do good. But I feel like something will go on with it being a short track of Phoenix, and I think he might get wrecked out in that 19 car. But I could be wrong, but I think he won't really do that good, unfortunately. My dark horse. Let's see. My dark horse for this one. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm also gonna say bold. I'm gonna say Parker Retzloff.
Okay, short track. I respect it.
And the main reason why I'm going with Parker Retzloff is if I go to his on racing reference in 2022 on short tracks. He made his first start here at Phoenix. He qualified 6th in an RSS car, but unfortunately didn't get the finish that he wanted to do at fuel pump. Richmond 10th, Lawrenceville 12th, Dover 17th, Nashville, that's similar to Phoenix 12th, and then just a mile and a half, and then Phoenix 21st. So on these short tracks, he's gotten some good top 15 ones. So I think he could do that again. I think he might be really good at short tracks apparently, and I think he could be a dark horse for a number top 10, top 15 one. And then my driver to win, he loves this place, he loves short tracks. I'm gonna say Justin Allgaier as my race winner.
Okay.
Alright.
Then as far as for Cup, my driver to stay away from, I want to do what I did last week and then get proven wrong. No. I was gonna say Briscoe, but then I said Byron because he didn't have good so this season, and then look how well he did. He won the damn thing. So
You might as well choose Briscoe then.
I don't want him to win.
I don't want him to win.
I'm gonna say Noah Gregson.
Ooh.
He kind of had a rough week at Vegas. That might carry over to this week, and it's not gonna be a fun time for him. My dark horse, I'm gonna say, my dark horse, I'm gonna say, it's gonna be, my dark horse is gonna be, you know what, screw it, Papa Wallace.
Interesting.
Alright.
I think he might carry the momentum from Las Vegas to Phoenix. And then my driver to win, you know what, I feel nostalgia. I feel nostalgia. Kevin Harvick's gonna win once again at Phoenix for the first time in a long, long time.
Interesting.
Harvick needs a good race at Phoenix.
Kind of bold with my predictions, but you know what? Last week was Vegas. I didn't really gamble in Vegas. This time I'm gambling in Phoenix.
Well, we better make sure those predictions don't dry out under the Phoenix heat. So, Wyatt, you are up next.
So looking at these, my dark horse for the Phoenix race, Parker Klingerman's my dark horse. Parker Klingerman has been on a roll here as of late, and apparently have not gone to track he is not good at. He's been dominating a lot with big machine racing. He's not going to get a win, but I do think he's going to be really competitive.
Yeah.
My driver to stay away from, I might go with I hate to do it to him, but I think I'm going to go Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
Brandon hasn't been doing all that. He's been running good, but he's not showing Junior Motorsport. Yeah, you understand.
Yeah.
My driver to win is going to be really tough. You know what? I'm going back to back. He didn't win last time, but I think he may do it this time. He's good at short tracks. Go Josh Berry.
Oh.
I'll go back to back on Josh Berry. I'll give him another try.
Good deal.
I was going to make a joke and say Kyle Weatherman, but oh well.
Now that would have been when if hell frozen over if Kyle Weatherman won.
Now here's something different. My dark horse for the Cup Series is actually Nathan Stayaway. He won Phoenix in the Xfinity Series last year. He actually got not just first but second in both the Phoenix races. So even though it's a Cup car, different. I gotta give it to Noah Gragson. I think Noah Gragson is actually gonna do okay in that. I at least see top of the field. Not top of the field, I'm sorry, top half.
Yeah.
Hopefully. My driver to stay away from, me and Nathan have swapped these. Well, he was thinking about saying that, but he didn't. But I'm going Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe has not been doing all that well the last few weeks. He's not showing like he was a year ago. I'm worried about him, and I think it's just going to keep getting worse for him. I think Chase Briscoe.
Yeah.
And it's sad because he won this race a year ago. My driver to win. I'm actually going to gamble. I'm going Ryan Blaney.
Oh.
I think Ryan Blaney's going to get it. Ryan Blaney has been fast, and he has not had a win in the Gen 7 yet. And he's been damn near close, especially at Phoenix. I think I'm going to go Ryan Blaney. I'm going to take my chances with Blaney.
1,000,000%. Definitely a really good prediction right there. But now, without further ado, it's my turn. So.
Run away.
No, don't run away. Anyways.
Yeah, please run away.
That's what she wants. So anyways, for my driver to win at Phoenix, I think I am going to have to agree with Nathan here and say Justin Allgaier could be my driver to win. Driver to stay away from, I'm very split on this one, but I really don't think that he's going to get the best of runs. Because the last few weeks, he really hasn't fared all that well. Yeah, I'm really going to have to double down on Brandon Jones. Just Brandon Jones, man. He's fast. He's really fast. And he can put together some really good runs. The unfortunate thing is, as I said, and I've mentioned before, the numbers do not back themselves up. And I am sick of seeing that. So, Brandon Jones, driver to stay away from. My dark horse, I want to say Chandler Smith.
Yeah, I like that.
Because the thing is, Chandler Smith, he does pretty well in this track. I mean, he won a couple years ago in the finale race for the Truck Series. And I think for Xfinity, he could definitely flex his muscles. Who knows? He could put together a really dominant run like he did this past weekend at Vegas, and hope maybe run away with it to the point where he either gets a good finish or potentially wins. We'll see.
I like how none of us mentioned Kyle Busch.
Well, you just did there. Here we go. It's time for the main event, the NASCAR Cup Series. United Rental Works. Why would you put United twice? Why just put United Rentals Works Assemble 500?
They just wanted to be united for once.
United and Assemble have the same definition, though. Anyways, for my driver to win, this is going to be very interesting because this year, I mean, yeah, there are some names in here where I think, some run really, really well at Phoenix. And then there are some that are just kind of like, well, the car itself actually ran good, but it's a different driver this time. So, I'm going to say for my driver to win, probably am going to be leaning a little bit towards... Ooh, this will be interesting. I'm going to say, ooh. He showed speed last year. I think he might show that same speed this year. Different team, but still pretty fast nonetheless. I'm going to gamble on this one. Tyler Reddick's going to be my driver to win.
Alright. I like that pick. And a little fun fact, that car got a top 5 last year with Kurt.
It did. My driver to stay away from? Man, I really hate to put him under this category. AJ Allmendinger's my driver to stay away from. Here's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He, you know, in the previous starts that he's made last year with on a limited schedule, he's actually ran pretty well. However, the problem is with this year, since he's gone back full time, like the only good result that he got was at Daytona. And since then, he's kind of performed exactly how he usually would if it were, say, if he was with JTT Daugherty in the Gen 6. This is basically the kind of a performance that he's currently having right now. So I'm putting Allmendinger in my stay away category. My dark horse, on the other hand, I'm going to take a little bit of a different direction here. And I'm going to say Austin Cindric is going to be my dark horse. I am still going to make sure that I carry my Penske flag in one way or another and make sure that I have a Penske driver at Phoenix, especially somebody like Austin Cindric, who has won there before, by the way, and won the championship there at the same, well, not in the same year, but right around the time that he was in the Xfinity Series as my dark horse.
Alright.
But that is pretty much all we can really do. So, gentlemen, any final thoughts before we get the Phoenix weekend underway?
Let's do that. Let's get to the fourth race. Let's get to the fourth race of the season. Let's see who's the king of the desert.
All right.
Yeah, that sums it up for me. Let's see who can win in the desert and who gets too hot and does not win.
And that pretty much is going to do it for us. So want to thank you guys a lot for watching this on the YouTube side. If you guys like this, be sure to give it a like. And if you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And if you're listening to this on Spotify and you like what you hear, be sure to hit that green follow button so that way you don't miss a future audio replay episode that's supposed to come out at Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I have, again, been really fumbling the ball. And every time I say, hey, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get the audio replay of this and then post it up on Spotify at 11 in the morning, I just fumble the ball so hard. So I'm going to make it an absolute chore to make sure that this goes up at its time. But anyways, thank you guys a lot for watching and listening. On behalf of Wyatt and Nathan Stapleton, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
See ya.